And I remember I was doing this like, in my final year, we did this huge like thing where multiple universities came, we did like this huge show and all of it. And at the end of it, I don't know what I said something and there was a standing ovation. Oh!
Wow.
And everyone I was like, and time froze for me.
Wow.
And I soaked it all in and I felt incredible sadness because I thought that would be the last time I would ever feel this because I can't be doing this. This is just for fun.
Wow.
This is not real.
Right.
And so I was like, that's the end of that chapter.
Welcome to Awaken the Ripple, the podcast that provides practical tips through real and honest conversations to help you unlock your purpose, ignite positive change within you, whilst empowering you to create ripples of impact throughout the world. Today's episode is something many of us struggle with. I know I struggle with this all the time, knowing when to pause. And my guest today is actually a returning guest, Obi. Obi stepped away from his rising career in media to create space for learning, experimentation, and rediscovery. And what he found during that pause was that it wasn't a step backwards. It was creating a new way of thinking about his work, his ambition, and what it means to grow. This is Pause to Power Up.
Ooh.
Welcome back, Obi.
Thank you. Oh, the way you wrote that was... You're a better speaker about my experience than I am, so I appreciate you. You use all the adjectives. It was brilliant.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Obi, for being back in the chair with us.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I love it. I love the space.
Yeah.
I've always said I liked your house. It's a nice space. I'll sleep on the couch later. So, thank you.
Obi, the last time we caught up, check out episode 6 on season 1 with networking. You were chasing curiosity, or I would say you were in full-on curiosity mode. You were chasing auroras.
Yes.
You were connecting with scientists. You were, allowing new conversations to create these new pathways for you.
Absolutely.
And since then, I know you stepped away from the media agency we both worked at. Yeah. And I'm keen to really understand what was going on internally when you made that change.
Okay, that's a question. That is a question. And I would say the change doesn't come at a point, it's a build-up, right?
Yeah.
So although there was a specific change, there were probably dominoes that led to it. It's a momentum thing, right?
Yeah.
And I think the change started, honestly, is when I went to a solo trip on my birthday. I decided to go to Portugal to go to a conference, a data visualization conference. Obviously, because that's what we're doing every day. I go to conferences, why not?
You're obsessed with data visualization.
I was obsessed, so rather than a holiday, I'm just like, let me go network some people. And there I got to meet some incredible people. I saw some incredible work. And it made me think, oh, so people work in this thing. Oh, I thought people were just, nice and just doing like COVID trackers on the internet for social good. But no, people actually do this thing.
Yeah.
And so, I made some connections, especially with one that ended up turning to a client later on. My next thing was, how can I implement this learning and these ideas into my work? So I worked in content and partnerships management. I literally created a data visualization product as part of a partnerships offering to some clients. And I'm very lucky that, my head of department, Andy Sampson, if you're listening, love you, bro.
We love you, Andy Sampson.
Yeah, he allowed me to literally just say, okay, go and make it.
Amazing.
Do something. And I did. And I started presenting it to clients.
Yeah.
And they bought it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. To the point that, in $1 million or 2 million spent, a quarter of it was going towards the data visualization product. Yeah. And that made me think, oh my gosh. I'm bringing money in through this thing that I like and it's working. And at some point, as I was doing those packages and pushing that forward, I began to feel, okay, I'm a middleman right now. I'm not making it. I'm telling other people to make it and shipping it onwards.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be the person making it. Mm-hmm. there's also on a business perspective, you can take in production cost that also reduces the overall, increase your margins. So I was like, I want to learn how to make it, and I want to be better, and I want to build that craft of storytelling, of data visualization, making numbers look sexy.
Yes.
And so that's what made me go and do my master's.
Okay.
And that's why I left the job to focus on that. And I'm very thankful that because I went to that conference, I met some people. It was very scary. I had a stable income, but I had savings. I was like, I will live on my savings. Yeah. My mom had an episode where she was unconscious in hospital.
Oh no.
And so all my savings went towards let's support mommy.
Yeah.
And thank God she's good, she's happy,
Mommy's
and she's
okay.
healthy. She's fine.
Okay, good.
She's better than me.
Oh wow.
So she's enjoying her life.
Yay, mommy.
But it also meant, okay, so I'm at zero and I'm doing this thing. And I'm thankful. I reached out to the person that I met during the conferences to say, hey, we spoke about these things or that things. Are you still interested? And he said, oh, have you quit yet? I was like, what do you mean, yeah? He was
I need you to quit first.
I need you to, okay, you quit? Yeah, I quit. Okay, calm.
Wow.
Let's do something. And we've been working together ever since.
Oh my gosh.
And they were my first client, and I've had others, but yeah. And so we're very thankful that things kind of worked out. But just to say, it wasn't a moment of change. It was a bit of a build up of different actions that led to me saying, let me go. And also at the point I was in my career, I had to make a decision because the next step was, senior leadership.
Yeah.
And what my boss said was like, if you're going to do that you're going to be fixed there.
Yeah.
So before you fix there, why don't you do other things and explore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you doing during your master's? Like, what was the master's?
What was my master's about?
Yeah, what was the master's about?
Yeah, so it was an MA in design for data visualization.
Okay.
And I picked design specifically because you could go to one that teaches more like coding and or that.
Yeah.
When I was trying to get a specific research client on board, their biggest thing was they want the design to be...
Okay, got
and I said, okay, so that's a weakness of mine.
Right.
So while I'm learning more about, the history, the makeup, the ideas, and how you go about data viz, it's probably a good idea for me to also get more design prowess.
Love that.
Now, there's a lot of different ways to learn design. I'm not saying this is the way you learn design, but I'm saying this is the way I wanted to learn design. You decided, And so I went to, I went to UAL, great design school, one of the greatest in Europe. And that's what I focused on. And throughout my time doing that, I ended up freelancing and working on my own practice. And I ended up making my salary through freelancing. So it was definitely a lot of serendipity happening. Yeah. But well worth the transition.
Love it. So was there a moment where during that journey leading up to you deciding to walk away from media in particular, where you realized that it would have been more of a cost for you to not pursue this as opposed to staying where you were? I know you were talking before about the next step at media would have been to take on more of a senior leadership role.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you had this opportunity to have like client relationships. Was there like this way up of the cost to you that put that line in the sand?
Yeah, because this wasn't a quick quit, right? It was a while. It took a few months.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know who said it, but it's the whole thing about you regret what you didn't do more than what you did do.
100%.
And when you're in my stage, right, I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, I don't have major responsibilities besides financial bills and all of that. Now is probably the time, as my boss said, to try something.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I'll be sacrificing, if we're honest, is stability. Yeah. And and I didn't have stability. It was quite scary. But opportunity lies on the other side of fear, right? 100%. So you got to weigh up who's behind me. I think if I had kids and a wife, maybe my decision would have been a bit different. I'm going to be honest. If I knew what was going to happen to my mom was going to happen, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Got you.
But because I didn't know and I didn't have those things, I was willing to say, hey, I'm willing to risk stability for this potential and see what happens. And I'm thankful that things are currently okay. They're currently working out. But I also understand that I might next year realize, oh, you know what, you guys, I was wrong. I was very wrong. Let me go back. Let me beg for a job. And that might be a thing that happens and I'm open to that. But the amount of things that I've experienced in this year that I would never have even touched. It's like, I'm not going to regret this, right?
Oh my gosh.
Like, I traveled more in the year when I was than I've ever done in other years. And I've met people, I've spoken at places that I wouldn't normally have gone to speak at. And it's definitely been a very much me understanding me understanding my strengths and how they can be applied in different places and trying to build a career around that rather than having a career and trying to push my strengths into it.
Yeah.
Which I think to some extent I was doing in media.
Yeah. I love that because it seems as though, and we were talking earlier before we started recording about stepping into this unknown.
Into the unknown.
And how that has opened up this opportunity for you to develop, learn, hone skills for yourself.
Yeah.
Being able to travel more, being able to meet different types of people within the field that you it sounds as though you're obsessed with data visualization. You love it, Obi. Don't lie. You love it.
I don't like dot.
But it's obviously like this is like a pure love for you, and now being in this space, it's allowing you to expand yourself a little bit more.
Yeah. One thing that I've done recently that I never would have imagined was physical computing.
Okay.
So that is like using sensors and code in order to like build robots and build like signaling systems and all of that. And it's been one of those random things that I just picked up on the side while I was doing my master's. And I ended up meeting people and doing that. And now it's part of my business model is physical computing workshops.
Wow.
And so we work with people and we work with sensor companies to use their bits in order to create something and help teach people how to code and build really cool things. So it's one of those, we're working right now on building like LED holograms.
LED holograms.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, have you seen them, those things, they spin around and they project a hologram?
Yes.
So we're building those.
Wow.
And we're turning that into a thing and a product in itself. And it's stuff like this, I never would have even...
You wouldn't have had that
the
opportunity.
Openness, the opportunity to try it and know it's something decent.
Exactly.
And my niece, she saw me doing that, and that made her apply for something with Samsung where she built something.
Wow.
And now we're working together to turn it into a product that we can give to Samsung. Like things like that is just like
the momentum that has just kind of like built.
But if you will never see it if you just stay in what you know. If you stay in what you know, you'll be limited to just what you know.
Yeah.
And you'll never know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much from what I do not know.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
So there you go.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So obviously there've been like so many things you've learned about yourself.
Yeah.
What were the difficult things that you had to learn about yourself or along the way?
Okay. I think...
Tell me about the hard.
The hard. Everything hard. Everything. Difficult. I don't know. Like I would say they like budgeting is a big thing right now, right? So I just told you I'm bringing 2 people on my team.
Amazing.
And so it's like, okay, so now I need to think like a proper finance person. I need to budget for certain months of, pay for these people because I got to pay their salary. I got to pay what's going on. And then I also got to pay for myself and all of that. Yeah. So I think the level of fiscal responsibility is a lot different from what I've understood before.
Yeah. So, heavy as the crown.
And it's been a lot of learning to know I'm very bad at organizing. I'm okay with doing it for myself, but when it's others, it's like, people. Oh, okay. So I've gotten better at that. Yeah, I think what has been bad? I think sales. Sales has been... So when you're working in a media agency, sales to some extent is a lot easier because clients already know you. To some extent, you've built the network and all you are is upselling because they're already in the business.
Yeah,
so
they're already sold.
They're already sold. So the selling isn't actually that difficult.
Yeah.
But selling by yourself, where someone has to trust you and drop 20, 30K on you and believe
you will deliver.
I will deliver. That's like, okay. So I need to become a much better salesman.
Yes.
As well as a more efficient operator because sales is a whole thing.
Yes.
And if I'm doing all that, then I may not have as much time for operation, which again is why I brought people on board to help me do that. But learning sales, I'm still very much learning sales, especially with something as niche as what I am. I'll give an example. So, when I was freelancing throughout my master's, in my mind, everyone needs data viz. Everyone. Who's your target client? It's okay. Anyone. Anyone.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting one specific client, and half of the battle was just teaching them the value of data and information. Because to them, all I was chatting about they can chat GPT and get all the thing. What do they need me for? I'm like,
You still need a human.
You still, like, okay, I can just chat GPT. Multiple times it's like, I can just chat GPT. Should I just chat GPT? I'm like, first of all, if you want to work with me, you gotta trust me.
100%.
And if this is your response, maybe I don't want to work with you.
Maybe you don't want to work.
Because you probably don't actually value the work that I do.
Yes.
The fact that that is even in your mind, you don't get it.
Yes.
Whereas with a different client, and it's a much more technical, and much more intensive, and I feel like they should be questioning me.
Yes.
Not a single one.
They get it. They get it.
Because they understand the craft. They understand, and they're just like, do the thing.
They understand the craft of what you do, but they also understand the challenges that it comes to these AI tools, right? It's not a quick fix. It's not the answer
It's not
to
the answer.
everything.
And a lot of the time, they take you in this way, and you're like, no, but if you understand the nuance of what's behind it, you understand that's quite as a very specific thing, and that doesn't apply everywhere.
Yeah.
And so part of sales is like, okay, I need to be much better at qualifying, because this work that I was doing for that client, honestly, it paid a fraction of what this one did.
Yeah.
And yet they're causing me the most stress.
Wow.
And so they are not my target client.
Right.
And so understanding that part of sales is like, okay, I need to let go of this.
Yes.
As much as, I don't know, that will probably bring like general awareness because they're more famous, but they don't work well with me.
Got you.
I need to focus on them.
Right.
Which give me more money.
Yeah.
Even if they're not famous, but they give me a lot more money.
Yeah.
And they value my work.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go there. So stuff like that is I didn't know how bad I was at sales, essentially, until I tried to sell myself. And I was like, oh, okay. I got to work on this.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you said that, because it's all about knowing the audience that will work well with you. And it sounds as though the more technically focused companies or clients are the ones who really understand the craft or what you're delivering and want to work solidly with you. So probably like a huge learning curve for yourself, right?
Absolutely. Because you think you understand audience. Because how many decks have I made?
We've made so many
decks have we made that's talking about target, or we should know this stuff
inside out,
left to right, back to front. There shouldn't be a problem. Listen, but
100.
for some reason there was a problem.
Amazing. I'm keen to understand, what was your typical opening line when it came to some of your clients?
Okay, wait, where are you going here? Like, in terms of what?
No, because the only reason why I'm asked is we had a gentleman a few weeks back where he also had to learn a lot about sales, selling himself. So his approach was, he reached out to a lot of people, did a lot of research. So he tried to understand what were their main pain points.
Yeah.
And then from there, instead of just saying, can I interest you in X, Y, and Z, he would frame it in a different way, where he would say, I've noticed on your website X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I can help you with this by doing something. He was able to draw them in because he's identified something on their site that he can help in solving. So I just was keen to understand, like, did you use the same sort of approach, or was it a different approach for yourself?
So to be honest, and I've been very lucky over the past like 15 plus months. I haven't done sales like that.
Yeah.
So this is, another challenge for me.
Yeah.
There's a difference between selling me versus selling my company. So selling me, I'm a speaker. Yeah. I do that.
You speak very well. You're so articulate.
I appreciate that. I do not believe it, but I thank you. No, I should know. We're speaking positivity. I do believe that. I receive that. Thank you very much. It's funny. People pay me to do it, and I'm still like that. But selling yourself as a speaker is something else than that. So what I found is sometimes when we end up chatting, that part moves first, and then they ask, "What else do you do?" And then I bring in my work and the curiosity. I think that's what. When I say data visualization, when I say turning data into content, when I say creating a story out of numbers, these are very like,
Tell me more.
And that curiosity has led to outcomes. So I haven't actually had to do too much. I'm going to be doing that from this point onwards, but I haven't had to do too much. A lot of people have just said, hey, chatted. And then they're like, oh, you're great at this. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then maybe I go to a conference and I speak. And then after that, some people catch up with me afterwards, and then I tell them about the business. And then that's led to client stuff. This one of them, I'm working with this mapping agency, and they're looking at, mapping ocean floors and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And I met them because I was showing someone else some 3D models I had rendered about like stars and all of that sort of stuff. And they were just like, oh, that's really cool. Can you do that for us? I was like, well, tell me more about what you guys do. And then that ended up turning into a client.
Yeah.
So it hasn't really been formal.
Yeah.
Which is, okay, maybe that's something I'm also not good at. Formalizing stuff. I'm working on that. But
you're working on a lot, Obi.
There's a lot to listen.
Listen, I get it.
Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily there's an opening line, but maybe the opening is I talk about myself.
Yeah.
And that becomes the opener.
Yeah.
And then I add that, and that breeds curiosity, which has led to other client work.
Love that. So it sounds as though you've been able to get people to believe in you.
Yeah.
Believe in what you're capable of, your brain, your ability, and everything that comes with it. So I like that. Were there any other hard stuff, any other challenges that you took for granted?
Oh, contracts. Legal contracts.
Okay, tell
and
me
accounting. We're not going to talk about that because HMRC might be listening. But like, I've never actually, when I was a wavemaker, I did general scope of works that people signed.
Yeah.
But I didn't do legally binding contracts in regards to IP and all of that shenanigans. And so I've had to learn stuff.
Yeah.
And I got stuff very wrong. And I've been very lucky that my clients have been gracious and been like, hey, this paragraph, do you want to look at that again? do you want to revisit that again?
Yes, I will look at it.
Sure. Let me. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
But that whole legal side has been quite different.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working with the proprietary information, so you need to have a lot more of that down pat.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to your ownership rights and like the in perpetuity and like how long is this going to go for? How long do I have access? How long?
Got you. Yes.
And especially because I haven't yet, but I'm in conversation with some government stuff. And that's been interesting because they're pre-warning me about that.
Yeah, I could imagine how much more legality
and
that
details
needs to be signed off. Yeah,
you know. So I think that part, I've been very lucky that I have friends who are lawyers. I just ask a lot of people questions. I have a mentor. I'm like, does this make sense?
Yeah,
and he tells me no. I'm like, okay,
back to the drawing board.
Or he tells me yes, and you need to charge more because of it. And I'm like, I'm not comfortable. That's kind of icky. And he's just like, you know what's also icky? Being homeless. So you better charge more. I'm like, okay.
Facts, yeah.
Understood.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're not wrong. Yeah. You're not wrong. Yeah.
100%. I love that. So fundamentally, a lot has changed with like the relationship that you have with your work, your ambition, and your sense of self. Listening to you now, there seems to be a completely different awareness on how you speak about life and work just in general. So I'm really curious to find out if you had to write a love letter to your younger self, what would you say? What would you say to younger Obi?
I would say, actually, do not be afraid to do the thing that you are actually interested in.
Yeah.
I think I pretended a lot.
Wow.
So, for example, in uni, I did economics and statistics, right? Because I always had an interest in data, still do, right? Economics, because I was told to do economics.
Okay.
And therefore, I did economics. Right. But while I was doing that on the side, I taught myself how to code. I got like an internship with this software company, which I shouldn't have gotten because I had no idea how to code.
Oh, wow.
And I remember I asked the person when I got the thing, why did you hire me? And he said, you were good vibes. Like, you're good vibes. I don't know what to tell you, man. You were good vibes.
You were great vibes. Please come and work with us.
I wanted to see what's going to happen. At the same time, I was working a part-time job for this thing called the Disco, which was like a digital computing part of the university that they created websites, they created posters, they created 3D printing, they did drone stuff, they did GIS, they did so much stuff.
Wow.
That's in the tech and data and information world.
Yeah.
And I loved working there. And I remember I had this distinct opportunity to spend a whole summer working there and building skills around using drones to scan environments to be able to make models about them.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that sounds so exciting. And when I told them about some ideas they had, they specifically tailored it for me.
Wow.
At the same time, I got the opportunity to work for this quite large marketing company.
Yeah.
And that would have looked really, really good on a resume.
Yeah.
But this was what I was actually interested in.
Got you.
And I ended up going for the one that would look really good on my resume.
I see.
And I did it, but at the end of it, I barely learned anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
I met really great people. We did stuff, but
other than that.
yeah. If I did that, and then when I came back, they were showing me the projects that they would have done with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my, what? So stupid.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? And another time happened again. At that time, I was doing, I had a chance to work for Amazon, basically, in their operations team there. And I also had an opportunity to do research, working with government boroughs on like this education employment index type of thing. It was like, we're working with like a PhD guy and we're going to do something.
Wow.
And I'd already started building it for them, and I was working with them. I was doing regression analysis and doing all the stuff. I was the data guy for them. But then this Amazon opportunity came.
Yeah.
And I was like, but Amazon, listen, it's going to look good.
On the resume.
On the resume, it's going to look good. I'm very interested. I've been doing it.
Yeah.
And they were going to pay me.
Yeah.
And they would have paid me the same amount that Amazon was going to pay me.
Okay.
But it would have been a cheaper cost of living because I would have been closer to campus and that would have been taken care of.
Got you.
But Amazon would look really good on their resume.
Right.
I went for Amazon.
Right.
I ended up getting a job and working for them, which I ended up quitting anyway. So like, I was like, this thing had been calling, but I'd been so afraid of it because I didn't think it was real. I didn't think it was something that, I don't know, could lead to anything. I just thought it was me having fun and just going for stuff.
Yeah.
Little did I know that would have prepared me for where I am today.
You are right
and I may
now.
have gotten here sooner as a result of it.
Yes.
Again, I'm always thankful for journeys because there's a reason you go through it.
100%.
It teaches you something and brings you awareness.
Yes.
But that's why I would have told my younger self, actually do those things.
Yes.
Something else. I really enjoyed public speaking. I really enjoyed emceeing.
You're
I
so great
I do it
at
quite often. I appreciate you. Thank you. I do it quite often, but I didn't think that was real. And I remember I was doing this like, in my final year, we did this huge like thing where multiple universities came. We did like this huge show and all of it. And at the end of it, I don't know what I said. I said something and there was a standing ovation. Oh!
Wow.
And everyone said, I was like, and time froze for me.
Wow.
And I soaked it all in. And I felt incredible sadness because I thought that would be the last time I would ever feel this. Because I can't be doing this. This is just for fun.
Wow.
This is not real.
Right.
And so I was like, that's the end of that chapter.
Wow.
Years later, I'm now going back to that. And so there's so much I wish I'd been brave enough to just stand by the things I was actually interested rather than trying to bend and conform to what I thought the world, my parents, and people would appreciate more. Yeah. Because guess what? Nowadays, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I've been able to do quite well. You know what I mean? So be willing to be brave enough to just consider the things you actually are interested in. Yeah. Because you do not know where it could take you.
100%. I completely get it. If we can reflect on the things that really light us up, where we lose time, where it feels like fun.
Yeah.
That's basically where the calling is, right?
And it's funny because now part of what I do is a mix of that data and it's a mix of public speaking where I'm creating data shows and we're like presenting them. I'm doing one in the Netherlands in the summer. I'm currently talking to a cruise company where we're going to bring as they go on scientific voyages, we're going to bring the data and live through talk and interactive stuff. This is a mix of who I was intrinsically. But I denied it for so long. And me denying it meant I haven't had as much time on the craft. Because half of what makes you good at anything is just time. Just spending time doing it again and again and again till it's just there. And that's what allows you to actually progress rather quickly because you're able to come with a lot more time and experience at the thing. And so you recognize an opportunity and you're able to launch at it. but you cut down that time when you ignore it,
Yes.
when you ignore the craft,
Yeah.
which I have done for many years. And so I'm now in a place where I'm just trying to
crack down,
put as much time, I'm just trying to get as good as I can in this time frame, because I know this is something I want to do, this is where I'm at, and I can see something happening there.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well done, you. Thank you so much, Obi, for sharing your phenomenal journey. Can you help let the listeners and viewers know how to find you on social media?
Sure thing. LinkedIn, my name, Obinna Iwuji, Obinna Iwuji. On Instagram, Nerdy Charisma. That's my name. Nerdy Charisma. Or you just type in my name, you'll probably find me either way. But that's the name I'm going with. So if you're interested in topics around data, how it's influencing your life, and how information helps just make your life better, then please, follow along.
Yay.
Yeah, I just did that.
Yeah.
I was very comfortable. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. I think like the biggest takeaway that I've taken from out of our conversation just now is not ignoring the things that really light you up, the things that you're interested in. Even if it feels as though you're having too much fun, there's a reason why you're having fun in those spaces, because that's where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
What did you think of Obi's story? Pretty great, right? Obi is just phenomenal. And what I love about Obi's story is that it reminds us that pausing isn't about quitting. Sometimes the bravest thing to do is to pause, to rediscover curiosity, to experiment, to rebuild our relationship with our work and our ambition on our terms. So if there's something in this conversation that resonated with you, maybe the ripple for you today is pretty simple. Where in your life do you think you need to pause to give yourself that space to then propel to the next level? Until next time, keep doing, keep growing, and keep awakening the ripple within you.
Bye. I don't know. Bye. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Obi.